The 1956 version of 1984 is the first cinematic adaptation of George Orwell's famous novel. I came into the film as someone who has read and really enjoyed the novel. I think it's one of the most powerful books I've ever read. Following the nuclear war, the world has been divided into three separate superstates: East Asia, Eurasia and Oceania. 1984 is set in London, which is Airstrip 1 for Oceania, and is ruled with an iron fist by the totalitarian government known as Big Brother. Big Brother, also known as the Party, rules every element of its citizens' lives. It controls how they act, how they speak, how they interact with each other, and is working to control how they think and how they feel. One citizen, however, Winston Smith, is beginning to have rebellious thoughts against the Party and is seeking to overthrow Big Brother with the help of Julia, a woman he has met and fallen in love with. Now, this film is a reasonably faithful adaptation of the book, certainly in terms of the plot. However, I did feel that there was a lack of a sense of dread, claustrophobia or helplessness that I thought should be present when dealing with the ultimate totalitarian oppression. It felt like we were only seeing the surface of this society. There was a lack of depth and substance that I felt was necessary to really show what it was like to be living under these conditions. Our two leads, Edmund O'Brien and Jan Sterling, both give decent performances, especially O'Brien towards the end of the film, although I was surprised to see an American actor with an American accent playing Winston, a man who was born in and has grown up and lived in London his whole life. And again, as with society overall, there was a lack of depth. I didn't feel like I knew these characters, especially not Winston, given that he's the main lead in the film. His character and life just aren't explored, apart from literally 2 lines at one point going into something that he hates. No explanation as to why he hates it, just that he does. In order to get really behind these characters, I felt that we needed to know more about them and more about what makes them who they are. The time period the film was made in, i.e. the 50s, both helps and hurts it in different ways. It's in black and white, which does help with the drab, dark, desolate appearance of people's lives on screen, but it's the little things, like the fact that Jan Sterling as Julia is very obviously heavily made up, as she had to be, which take me out of the film, because it is explicitly mentioned that Big Brother wants to eradicate romantic love between the genders. A display of individuality or sexuality such as the wearing of makeup, would never be allowed. Big Brother would stamp it out immediately. I can't help but compare this film to the novel. I think when you've experienced both, it's virtually impossible not to. And it's not as good as the book. It was pretty much never going to be. I don't think I've seen a film which truly did justice to the novel it was adapted from. And this version of 1984, as is often the case, lacks the depth and power of the original book. The question has to be, though, does it stand up on its own as a film for people who haven't read the book? And I would say yes, just about. I think for people who don't know the book but do want a cinematic version of it, then this version of 1984 does deliver a satisfactory screen adaptation of Orwell's vision. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.